week 3, day 10, drainage update. I'm out on the 8th and root zone's going in. So hoping to try and get the root zone, or at least as much of the sand finished as possible today. We've got all the guys out here backfilling. They've finished trenching down there. So at the moment I've got the stone, you can see the dumper at the bottom. And I'll head down there just so you can see how it works through to 12, because they've started trenching on the 12th. Last of the junctions has now gone in. So there's that one there. And then I think I said to you on Friday, there's one of the irrigation pipes that we've had to run the drain underneath. And then this pipe runs through to the other side and onto 12. So there is another drain in this low point on 12 that all of the lateral drains will run into. So 12 is a very similar design to the 8th in terms of the way that the lateral drains run across it, but they will all run from that high point there where the conifer is back down to this central drain. And then if I spin you around, they will also run from those blue flags back down this way, and then from those blue flags it goes the other way towards the green, which eventually will go off into the 7th lake. I'll take you up to the 12th tee so you can see the way that that's all been done and give you a good understanding of the way the pipes will all form. So I'm up by the 12th tee, and as you are all well aware, this area gets incredibly wet. So we've got an outfall drain running there, which is what the guys are cutting, and that also runs across the front of this service path here, and then all the lateral drains run up the line of the hull up to that roughly the 200-yard disc, and then the hull starts to fall the other way. There's the Shelton 760 Super Printer in action. It's always pretty good to see the machine in action. I mean, if I take it round, see how much that's throwing out. And just moving along. So to give you a bit of a progress update, there's pros and cons to the rain that we've had over the weekend. On one side, that heavy rain does stop us running a lot of the material, but on the flip side, it helps the trencher move through the ground a lot faster. We've got Sheltons and FRA are here until the end of this week. The aim is to try and get 12 and 2 done by the end of this week. So that'll be 6 holes in total completed. They then have 2 weeks away, and then they are due to come back on the 29th of July. At the moment they are scheduled for 2 weeks. Now we won't get the remaining holes finished in that time, but we're trying to extend that period and then book in another time slot to get the balance of the holes done. We will also have a separate contractor that's going to help us with paths. So he will be on site from the 22nd, but I'll give you more information about work that he's doing as and when it becomes available and where he'll be starting. Day 13 of Project Drainage, and I'm out between 8 and 12. Unfortunately, rain yesterday completely stopped play, so the contractor actually went home early in the morning. We couldn't get anything done. The ground conditions were way too wet. Whilst we could trench, the biggest problem was running material. So the tyre tracks and the mess that they were making, just running gravel, spoil away, was causing too much of a mess. But if I spin you round, out on the 8th, they are just putting the finishing touches on. So the last of the root zone. So the aim now is that by the weekend, 8 and 12 will be completed. So while the guys are tidying that up, if I head over to 12, I'll give you a bit of an update of what they've been doing over here. So most of the trenches have now been cut. The idea is that this main drain through the middle and that main drain will be connected up probably tomorrow. But the guys are laying pipe, there's stone going in. You can see the trenches as they go along this line of the hole. I think there's 2, maybe 3 trenches left to do at the bottom end. And again, The aim is to get this completely backfilled and tidied up for the weekend. There is a main drain that runs into the 7th lake over in the corner over there, which what I'll do is I'll head over there and give you a closer look at how that all works. So the guys have cut and laid this 160mm pipe. So this is a large outfall drain, and this runs straight into the 7th lake and will run all the way up between the 13th tee and the 12th green. As I'm sure you're all aware, this is a very, very wet area, but this main drain will allow us to run lateral drains, well, primarily from green side on the 12th, which is what those guys are doing over there, cutting the last few, and in front of the 13th tee box, which again we know is an incredibly wet area. At the end of that outfall drain by the 13th tee box, when the guys come back on the 29th of July, that drain will run across the end of the 13th tee box and up the right hand side. It will also probably run through the trees and take some of the water off the 6th as well. The aim is to try and get these areas, or these 2 holes, completed when they return. Day 14 of the drainage update. I'm out on the 12th. The 8th's now complete and it's done. The 12th, they're just putting the finishing touches and just tidying up a few of the outfall drains. So if I spin you round where the 12th runs out, so we've got this main outfall drain that runs across the fairway, through the woodland and down to this chamber. I'll just head over and give you a bit of an update of, or demonstration of how this chamber works. So effectively that's the outfall across the 8th that runs into the ditch, and then this one runs across and into there. So it's quite a big area, and this will provide us with different access points and ability to flush out some of these main drains just to make sure that they're all running as they should be. You will see a few of these across the course. They'll be outside of the playing areas, but these are integral to ensuring that the drainage works for the future. So out on the 12th fairway, they have now backfilled everything, root zoned everything. It's ready to be open and ready for play at the weekend. They've got a few of the chambers to do, so there's going to be one chamber over there and then another chamber over there, which is the bit that runs down into the 7th lake. Once those 2 parts are complete, as well as that bit across, the 8th and the 12th can be open. So the aim is that these holes will both be finished by lunchtime at the latest on Friday, ready for the weekend. And then the guys have got one final part to do on the 10th, where we had all the rain at the last weekend. He just highlighted a little area that just needs an adjustment as such. So they're going to put in a couple of extra trenches. We won't need to close the hole. They're going to do it first thing in the morning tomorrow. To everyone that's playing at the weekend, good luck, play well. Good luck to Neil Mitchell on your captain's day. And I will give you another update next week on the plans moving forward and the next few phases of this project, including the ring main irrigation system and the path network.